Yeah, this is new. I did not expect to see the likes of you. Did you hear that? Yes. Roger? I think it's coming from over there. Yes. It seems you have sailed off the map, girl. And here there be dragons. Ask it where we are, what these places are. Okay, good, we'll finally get some answers. Who are you? I am many things, and I have many names. Right now, I am a voice emanating from a chair. You may call me Voice. And you are a girl, far from humanity's designated home. This place, out of space and time, is no place for you. Ask it where we are, Haley. We're in a place, Quentin. Out of space and time, Quentin. Good Lord. I sense something within you. Inside you. Yeah, ignore him. He does not strike me as a spirit to be ignored. Well, he is. Just ask him where we are, Haley. Where are we, Voice? You are in a land of half-dreamed landscapes. Tell me, do you believe in God? Not anymore, no. I don't know. You don't know? Then you do not know if you believe in devils either. And you likely will not believe where you are. Okay. Ask it to tell you anyway. Tell me anyway, I guess. First, tell me of your vengeful companion. That conflicted spirit I sense. Spirit, who are you? Tell it I'm nobody. He's my imaginary friend. You imagine strange friends, girl. Yeah, well, you get used to him. Once you get to know him. I see. And you're certain you know him? Yes. I think. Wounded animals are not to be trusted. You have one living inside you. Stop having a conversation and find out where we are, Haley. Do not presume to know your imaginary friend. And ask it about that torture machine. No, Quentin, I'm not going to ask it about the torture machine. Nothing. So, where are we? There are many things in reality and outside reality, girl. Many places human eyes have never deciphered. Many beings human minds have never comprehended. This is such a place, created by such beings. The Spindle Men. Who are they? Creatures of terrible innocence. Once, in a time beyond time, they were God's companions. They slept at his feet and listened to his words, and he showed them the ways of creation, for they could not understand them on their own. They are, fragile beings, capable of understanding only the literal, not imagination, emotion, or beauty, only usefulness. That is how God created them, and with his help, they dutifully crafted beautiful worlds of childlike wonder. Forests of warm crimson, deserts of sparkling white, vast oceans of the deepest blue. They were his children, and they delighted in making crayon drawings for him. But eventually they became unsatisfied, and in their naivete, they said, "We do not need your words or your wisdom." They said, "We are four, and we are one. We are the Spindle Men." They said, "We can create, we can analyze, and we can decipher the mysteries of creation ourselves." And thus they left him. Tell it to get to the point. This doesn't help us. It's explaining where we are, Quentin. I didn't ask for a Sunday school lesson. I don't remember hearing this in Sunday school. Nothing. Keep going. Humans have always perplexed them. They do not understand your ways, because as I said, they do not understand imagination, emotion, or beauty. To them, your stories are nonsense, your paintings are stains, and your music is noise. This place and the others like it are their attempts to replicate and understand your world. My theory earlier was right then. Seems I should look for these Spindle men. So this is supposed to be, our world? Yes. But everything is really weird. Yes. Until recently, they could only observe you from afar. All they had were glimpses and impressions. But somehow they found a way in. Some crack in the wall. They made contact with one of you. They took his land for their own. And they have been modifying their creations. Building, always building. Building structures they presume to have purpose. Building that infernal machine. Infernal machine? What's that? It is their answer to the question, what are humans for? They have deduced that you are complex noisemakers, and they think themselves virtuoso musicians. Because when your existence is a wasteland of quantifiable values, screaming is as good as singing. Sounds like it's time to find these Spindle men. Let's go. I guess I'm leaving now. Sorry. The Spindle men are dangerous, you know. No shit. They are not malicious, but for all intents and purposes, they are madness incarnate. Their ignorance has resulted in horrific acts, and they infect all they touch. Be careful. The Spindle men, huh? So God is real, that gives you some kind of hope. Unfortunately, the Spindle men are devils, and they're real too. Well, thank you, Chair. You are by a wide margin the greatest person we've met, and you're not a person. In fact, you're probably an angel. There have been odder angels. Didn't it Poe write a story about the angel of the odd? This thing, well, it won't kill us. It is strange, though, that Haley said to just ignore Quentin. She can't ignore Quentin, he controls her. She wishes she could. She wishes it could just be a voice in the back of her head and she could live her life like a normal schizophrenic. But no. Wait, hold on. What the hell? I thought those took us back to that church place. This is bad. Well, now here she is, just a girl sprinting down this road in another world the Spindle men built. This just goes to show you there's certain places you shouldn't go to. There's some places that just aren't worth visiting. For example, this island. And does that mean those people who were stabbed up and killed? Well, obviously it was the Spindle men who did that. Spindlemen? The Spindlemen took people away to their other dimension where they used that machine to torture them to death, and they left the bodies just kind of somewhere. Why were you investigating this, Quentin? What did you expect to find here, Quentin? I mean, honestly, Quentin, what did you expect to find? You couldn't have expected this. You couldn't have expected other worlds and Spindlemen and angels in the form of chairs. There's something flickering around here. Was it doing that before? No way. Wait, are these Spindle men? I don't think so. They're like making flower shapes and like people shapes. Hello? You guys want to talk? Really, the important thing is that you're dangerous, and that's what appeals to Quentin. Or not. I suppose that this is the Spindlemen in the process of building things for their thing collections. Okay, let's go. And you are back. Are we cut off from Earth forever now? Is that what's going on? I need help. Explain. We can't get out. The portals, they keep kicking us back to different places. I see. It seems you are trapped then. Trapped? Likely the Spindlemen have felt you from afar, and they are closing the world around you like a cage. Oh. Soon they'll find you. The Spindlemen are physically weak, but they can certainly overpower a young girl. They will drag you to the music machine, and they will play terrible sonatas with your body. Interesting. That's not the word for it, you maniac. Although I guess really, he isn't human anymore. Is he? Is there a way out? Yes. Kill them. Then the trap will spring open, their creations will begin to crumble, and you will be thrown back to your own world. They will finally reap the wages of sin. That's the worst mixed metaphor I've ever heard. What I'd give for a belt sander right now. Okay. How do I kill them? You don't. I'm in control, remember? Spirit, I cannot hear you, but I can feel you. I know what you're doing. And you don't have to do it. Creation is more than shadows and mechanisms. Creation is full of the terrible and the wonderful, the known and the infinitely unknowable, the hellish corners and the heavenly peaks. Even in death you have barely scratched its surface. And in your cynicism, you are more ignorant than you think. Haley, tell Voice to go masturbate with a cheese grater. Quentin? You shut up too. Let's go. See, there's this problem when you have a game where the protagonist... It's not a problem per se, but I am not in the same mental sphere as Quentin at all. I want to contemplate the wonders and variety of the universe. But we're not going to, are we? Shit! These are the guys who found Roger. Right? Spindly? So all these places, my original theory that these were like attempts to be like the human world were right. That means they probably did put humans in these cages. These Spindlemen really sound very dangerous. Oh, criminy, we gotta go through all those areas again to get to the buttons to get out. Well, the Spindlemen... How bad can they be? Well, we know how bad they are. Even though it's not really deliberate, They're not consciously, they're not setting out to do evil things. That doesn't make them any less dangerous. The worst part is they do possess a certain degree of intelligence. You think God wouldn't stand for their rebellion, but then again, maybe God isn't always the nicest kind of guy, right? Oh no. Well, they didn't even have to drag her to it, did they? No Spindlemen around anyway. Yep. Gonna turn this corner and there'll be none. And there'll be none around this corner either, right? Right. No. No Spindlemen. What is this? What would that even look like? Is a spindle... I mean, I imagine they'd be rather ungainly looking, like thin, scrawny, you know? They're not all bad. They created the world with the heart. So they're not all bad, these Spindlemen. There's something, you know, they have some kind of heart, I suppose I could say. Oh. I don't remember this. Quentin, there's something here. Oh, dear. Well, Quentin, I think you're gonna have your wish. I think we're gonna meet the Spindleman. Spindle? Spindle? Oh, it's a Spindleman. Quentin. Shh, quiet. Quentin, please. Quiet, I'm thinking. Can it see us? Can it see it all? Don't let it out of your sight, actually. I don't... So this is what a Spindleman is, huh? It sounds kind of like it's in pain, but it's not. That's just how it normally is. What the... A pyramid? It's... Oh! It's more of them! Damn it, Haley. Stop fighting me. No, 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 no. You know what? I'm with Haley on this one, you know? I didn't realize she could fight. I didn't realize she was capable of fighting him. You're not. Shut the hell up. Are these the Spindleman's language? These line writing things? So they spoke to Roger. That's what happened to Roger. Well, they're not following us. Or they don't seem to be. So I guess I'm controlling Haley now, resisting Quentin? Without ears they cannot hear. Without eyes they cannot see. But they can sense. Do not let their inaction fool you. They know you are here. They are simply deciding how to catch you. This weapon is a gift, Spirit. Pull the trigger. Fix your mistakes. Wait, so is Quentin gonna kill her before they get to her? Okay. Fuck it. Let's do some target shooting. For old time's sake. Oh. Oh. What? Okay. Hey. God saved us. God gave us the gun. Well, that's one way to help us, or it's not really God, it's some kind of other thing. Hey! It bleeds, we can kill it. Hey, Spindlies! Huh? Quentin did have some kind of decency in him after all. Right? Are we dead? I know what is true, says Hector, and what is truth besides? Merely the whim of rulers. This is how he talks, sitting in his hovel, writing his religious papers, saying that he alone remembers. He rules us. Your memory is flawed, he says, and I admit that I went mad for some time. We all did. I admit, too, that some of the past is just a feverish mist. Nightmare worlds and whispers and terrible needle-like men. I do not remember everything, but I remember enough. Hector and I, we are very alike. Once I might have lied as he lies, perhaps I did, but no more. I leave this note for posterity. This land is not heaven, but hell, a pathetic shadow of our true home. Demons forged it, and thus it will crumble and dry and flood and perish. Beware the moon and what lies within. Trust the lurking beast. Do not fear the scratches in the night, for they are your salvation. My name is Roger, and that is the truth. Roger saved us, huh? Okay, well, I think at this point we can say that Quentin is well and truly done with this. Also, I was wrong about Roger. He wasn't a schizophrenic at all. He was right all along. And not only was he right, he even resisted the Spindle men. I wonder how Quentin feels right now. He really was going to, have this girl tortured to death by demons. I don't really know how redeemable that is, even if... I mean, he decided to save her, but it doesn't change that he hasn't changed, He's still stealing her body and using it for his own whim of murdering her. But he's leaving the island now. You're shaking. So he doesn't have complete control over her, obviously. Are you alright? You just saved my life. Not necessarily. You don't want to kill me. I do. No, you don't. Yes, I do. You fucking don't. Just admit it. Damn it. People aren't nice little mathematical equations you can easily solve. Maybe I don't know what I want. Maybe I'm just trying to find some thread of sense in a mess of conflicting emotions. Or here's a thought. Maybe I'm a sociopath, and maybe I like playing with my food. You don't know. You don't know because people are nonsense, Haley. Stupid nonsense you can't solve. Maybe I don't understand myself, but you sure as hell don't either. Do you love me? What? No. I don't mean sexually. I know. So, why not? Do I really need to answer that? Yes. I don't love you because that's not how these things work. But I love you. You're too young to know what that means. No, I'm not. It's not nice having someone else control your body. But I can look past all that because, I don't know, I just can. I mean, you don't have to leave. You can stick around. You can be my imaginary friend. If you want. You don't have to like me either, I guess. Just let me go. Just you know, forgive me. That's not easy. I managed to do it, and you think I'm still a child. I think we are very different people. Yeah? Well, I think you lost something when you grew up. No, Haley. I've never been a good man or a forgiving man. I can't. I'm done talking about this. Okay. Fine. So you're going to spend your afterlife bullying a teenage girl? Yes. That's who I am. That being said, you could have control back for a bit. For my benefit. After 3 months, I need a break. That's a start. Well, don't get any ideas. I have one already. I'm gonna find a cigarette. Then you lose the privilege, Haley. Girls your age shouldn't. Yeah, I know. Thank you. It's not for you, it's for me. And only for a bit. Right. So, how are we getting off this island? That was the music machine. And also, there's the name of the man who made this. Huh. What an interesting little video game. It managed to be pretty scary, I mean, at least to me. But also kind of beautiful. In the end, I'm not totally sure what to make of it. It's an interesting idea, this commentary on the player as an invasive force controlling the female lead's body, in that literally the player is a ghost controlling their body. I suppose there's some spoilers on this one, but it kind of reminds me of Undertale in that respect. I'm always interested in clever ways of incorporating the player. But what I don't really understand, though, is how this story ties in any way with the story of using this machine that was left by these people who talked to these devils to travel into alternate dimensions from an island where there used to be a Bible camp. It was sort of religious. I didn't expect that. It's not often, particularly in a horror story, that you have God portrayed as anything either than as a myth-motivating fanatics or some kind of distant, rather ominous presence or even monster. Here, God is basically totally irrelevant. It's so he is so far removed that he has no place in our reality. But he created the Spindle men. I'm surprised a gun would work on them, and I suppose we owe it to Voice for surviving that at all. I feel like I probably missed a lot of stuff in it, and I do think it's a very bizarre design that you have to just randomly guess combinations for the music machine. I do think it's a little disturbing that it seems to suggest we should see Haley's love for him as something sort of beautiful. Really, it's, Stockholm Syndrome. It's kind of disturbing. It really was uplifting in its way, because in the end, the demons are defeated. And the people we thought were crazy, well, they might have been crazy, but they were right about what was going on, actually, and Roger even learned, in the end, what was. It certainly spiraled off in a direction I did not expect. In any case, though, I've said it once, I'll say it again, the universe is a scary place, guys.